Good evening, everyone. Today is the 27th of August, and we're going to be talking about essential oil recipes. We've got a lot on our plate today, actually some of my very favorite recipes. And this is a presentation I don't do a lot, but it's kind of fun at the end of the summer to get something that's a little bit more frivolous. For those of you who are joining us from Southeast Asia, good evening. If you're joining us from Europe, good afternoon. And if you're joining us from the United States, good morning. And I'm going to share my screen with you now. Oops. Okay, here we go. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Elena Jordan, and I've actually seen better days. I'm looking a little bit puffy and swollen today, but I'm happy to be on the call. I actually feel fine. I just look a little funny. My eye is tearing. But I wanted you to know that I was thinking about you and that I'm here today to do another presentation. As I mentioned earlier, we will not have a presentation next week. It's a national holiday here in the United States called Labor Day, where we celebrate all workers. And I think it's appropriate because we all work very hard that we get a week off. I'll be back the following week, and then we're going to have to see what happens with convention. I think the Monday before convention, I will do a presentation, and certainly the Monday after convention, I'll be doing a presentation talking about all the new products. I'm super excited. So stay tuned. I will be posting the schedule for September in the chat group or chat groups, because I know we have multiple going on, and let you know what's going on. So thank you for joining us today. And we're going to be talking about essential oil recipes. So all of the ideas in this presentation, as most of our presentations, are taken from the book, Essential Oils Healthcare for Today, A Beginner's Guide. If you are looking to find out more about essential oils, you're just getting started, or maybe you're more experienced and you really want to just talk to people about essential oils, this can be the guide for you. It also has 50 of the top health issues and what kind of LRP you need, loyalty, rewards, points order, or a monthly order that will help you to resolve any one of those specific conditions. The last thing I want to say before I get started is thank you to our Presidential Diamond team. We have an amazing team that really spans the globe, and I'm so very honored and proud of all of you. I had the great good fortune to spend some time on the telephone with a few of you over the weekend, and I was hearing such good things about promotions and Diamond Club and everyone getting really excited about what's going on in the next couple of months. So many people coming to the US for the convention, which is really amazing. We have a big team coming from the US, a lot of people coming from Southeast Asia, many people who have never been to the convention before. So everyone's getting super excited, and I'm not the least of which. I am going to be in session A. So if you're in session A, I'll be there with you with 35,000 other people, but I look forward to seeing all of you. And please come to the team dinner. Friday evening, we'll be having a team dinner, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. And everyone who has rank advanced this year will be celebrated. So we're very happy for that joyous event. But let's get started. Okay, so essential oil recipes. There are basically 3 types of recipes when you first get started, and we're going to talk about what those recipes are and how, if you haven't made any recipes, if you haven't blended anything, and I don't know how many brand new people we have on this call, but I know we have some experienced people that have been using and making recipes for a long time. And actually, today's prize is not going to be given out on the call. Today's prize is going to be given out in the 2 Facebook groups. So listen carefully. What I'm going to ask you to do is post your own recipe in one of our 2 Facebook groups over the next 3 days. So I'm going to give you 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Post a recipe on either one of our Facebook groups. So either Oil Camp Alumni, if you've been through Oil Camp, or on Team Power Diamond. So post a recipe on either one of those sites. And no, you don't have to post it twice. Just pick one and post it on either one. And we'll be picking two lucky winners. And we're going to be sending them a very special prize that will help them with their blending and mixology. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that prize at the end. So 3 types of recipes, and I want to hear your recipes. So these are my favorites that I make over and over and over. And I don't talk about them a lot, so this should be some kind of interesting information for you. Okay, so when we think about recipes, we often think about food, and we think about putting things together and coming out with some delicious results. And certainly most of us have to cook almost every day and decide, well, are we going to put together some vegetables or some fruits or maybe add some meat or some grains and come out with something that's healthy and edible for ourselves and maybe our family. The other kind of recipe we think about perhaps is a chemistry recipe, working in a laboratory and mixing different things to come out with a chemical result. And what I will say is, if you are trying to solve a specific health problem and you want a consistent result, I strongly recommend that you use the blends that doTERRA has pre-blended. The reason I want to steer you back towards blends is, while it's a lot of fun to mix things in your hand or in a jar or in a bottle or in a roll-on, you really don't get the same blend every single time. What doTERRA does when they mix their blends is they actually mix very precise measures of essential oils, and they mix them exactly the same way every time. So just like a medicine or any product that you would get over the counter, you want to get the same result every time, go for a doTERRA blend. That having been said, I know it's a lot of fun to mix up your own things, and many of you do, and I'm going to be sharing some of those blends with you today. Okay, the last thing we think about is kind of cooking up a wild concoction like these 3 witches. And we all know that essential oils have had kind of an unusual past and have a lot of associations sometimes with hippies or with crazy herbal medicine and maybe even sorcery. And we're not talking about any of that today. We're talking about really useful blends that you can use on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, and that hopefully you're going to return to again and again and again. So, okay, let's start with my favorite food recipe. And I have to say, this is not only my favorite food recipe, it is a recipe that I have posted online several different times. It's also a recipe that I have to give credit where credit is due. And my original exposure to this recipe was from Marie Durso. And I've mentioned Marie on this call several times, but she's my original On Guard popcorn lady, because I had seen the recipe, kind of turned my nose up at it, and then went to her house and actually tasted it. And I have to say, it was the most delicious thing, certainly essential oil related, that I have ever tasted. And it's a lot of fun to make. If you are having a gathering and you're going to have people over to talk about essential oils, what better way to expose them to essential oils than to prepare this recipe? It is super easy to prepare. It is also vegan. So those of you, my vegetarian and vegan friends out there, it's completely safe and healthy for you. It contains unrefined coconut oil, which is kind of the stuff that you find in most supermarkets in either the refrigerated or packaged section. Very easy to make. You can, if you don't feel like popping your own popcorn, I have cheated many times and bought the pre-made organic that I find in my supermarket. So if you don't want to even air pop your popcorn, you can make it with pre-made, and it comes out great. And it is a little bit of addicting. I can't say that it's diet, but it is really, really yummy and well worth putting together. So you need some popcorn kernels, whether you're popping themselves or buying them pre-popped. You need unrefined coconut oil, and a little bit of maple syrup, which I must confess, most of the recipes that I'm going to be talking about today are what I will call fall recipes. So if you are living in a climate that doesn't necessarily have 4 seasons, I'm going to ask you to bear with me, but we in the United States are getting crazy for fall stuff. And fall for us means pumpkin. It also means cinnamon. It also can mean maple. And those are the flavors of fall. And in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see all different sorts of supermarket and coffee chains and everyone else coming out with their pumpkin and spice recipes. And I'm no different, so I'm offering mine to you. You're going to need your On Guard essential oil. You're going to need your cinnamon oil and cinnamon bark essential oil. And you're going to need a little bit of ground cinnamon to taste. So it's really a super simple recipe. And I really encourage you to take a try at this one. Okay. The other one, again, I talked about pumpkins. Here's our On Guard pumpkin smoothie. Again, I make this maybe once a year. It's not one of those things that I make every day, but it is a lot of fun. My hat's off to the EO Guru, who has a lot of recipes online. You need a cup of almond milk or milk of your choice. A half a cup of pumpkin puree, which can be found in all supermarkets, a little bit of vanilla yogurt, and this can be any kind of yogurt for my vegan friends. This can be a soy yogurt or other sort of non-dairy yogurt, or people that are dairy sensitive, bananas, vanilla extract, pumpkin pie seasoning, which is kind of a mix of cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. And then again, your doTERRA On Guard protective blend and some ice. And for those people that are anti-ice, I'm sorry, you want to think about this sort of almost like an ice cream. Again, not a super diet recipe, but you can even take your vanilla trim shake and add in a half a banana, a little bit of extra vanilla, and that pumpkin, and make something very similar. As you know, that many of the ingredients in this have some good health benefits. Almond milk is cholesterol free. Pumpkin is a great source of beta carotene. Bananas have potassium. And we want to try to limit sodium so that and increase our potassium so that we do have heart health. So overall, I see that they've added a little whipped cream on the top here, which I don't know if it's necessary, but it really looks pretty, and I wanted to share this recipe with you. So those are my two food recipes, and then my next two recipes are actually diffuser blends. And if you can hear some funny sounds in the back, I don't know if you can, they're doing the trimming of my trees today. So if it's a little noisy in the background, that's what it is. There's no way for me to say stop. It's going to be a little noisy as they go around trimming all the bushes and things. Okay, here we go. So I did want to mention to you that there is a book out called The Essential Mixologist by a woman named Jules Weinberg. And Jules has been on Facebook and done other live events showing some of her recipes. She is a mixologist, which in many cases is a bartender, but she's a woman who has done a lot of research about what ingredients go best together, how to incorporate essential oils into food recipes. And she's come out with this book. I had talked about it when it first came out, I guess back in the spring, and maybe showed it live, but I wanted to include a picture of it here. It really is a wonderful recipe book. I will say that almost all of the recipes in the book do contain alcohol. So if you're not an alcoholic drink imbiber, you might want to just thumb through the book and then take some ideas from it. But for those of us who do have a cocktail from time to time or want to enjoy some sort of a cocktail, these ideas are wonderful. Here's the other thing. The book is fairly tiny, only about 100 pages or so, but I will tell you that the first almost 20 pages, 15 or 20 pages, talk all about how to use blend essential oils into drinks effectively. She's almost done, I don't know if you want to call it a study of chemistry. So she talks about the toothpick method and what you need in your toolkit if you're going to be mixing essential oils into drinks on a regular basis. She talks about a hydration station, how to make things like lemonades and simple syrups, that there are certain ingredients that you really do need to include in your toolkit. And she mentions specifically doTERRA essential oils. And you can see she's got the doTERRA bottle right there on the front. So consider taking a look at this book. For those of you coming to convention, I'm sure it's going to be on sale there. But just a nice addition to your library if you are a doTERRA enthusiast and also looking for good recipes. Okay, my favorite, citrus forest. So now I'm going to get a little pushback on this because the last ingredient is white fir. And some of you are going to say, white fir, we don't have that anymore. Now, I will tell you two things. I know that some of you over there, yes, I know who you are, have big stocks of white fir because you've been holding onto it for a while. But for those of you who don't have white fir, please substitute Siberian fir. It's an excellent substitution. So 2 drops lime, 2 drops lemon, 1 drop wild orange, 1 drop bergamot, and 1 drop Siberian fir. Excellent. I diffuse this throughout the year. It's refreshing. It's uplifting. To me, it smells great, whether it's morning, noon, or night, or any season of the year. I have traveled with samples of it and given it out from time to time when I've come to Asia. It's one of those blends that I go back to again and again and again. The other thing is it's not very expensive to mix up because you can see it's primarily citrus oils, which I really love, and it is one of my all-time favorites. So this is my personal citrus forest diffusing blend, and I mix it up actually by the bottle and then keep bottles of it already mixed in a small cabinet so I can return to it as whenever I want. Another favorite blend, and this goes back to my fall. This sounds a little weird because it almost sounds like something you would drink, but it is a diffuser blend, the mulled cider blend. And I actually got this off of a website that was talking about Deepak Chopra, and that he had recommended certain fall blends. And this is called the mulled cider blend. Now, interestingly enough, I put this here with the cup of cider because you could really use it either way. You could drop these essential oils into an apple cider, a fresh made apple cider. And right now on the East Coast, we're getting ready to step into apple season again. Or you could just drop these into a diffuser. So 5 drops of sweet orange, and this should really say wild orange, 3 drops of cinnamon bark, and 1 drop of ginger. And you'd be surprised how much this smells like a mulled cider. But if you wanted to drink this recipe, I would take probably 1 cup at least. So that would be, oh dear, help me out, folks. A half of a liter approximately, or a quarter of a liter of apple juice or apple cider. And I would mix in 5 drops of orange, 3 drops of cinnamon, and 1 drop of ginger. And you could adjust the amount of juice that you added in to make it taste appropriately. I'm thinking that a quarter liter might be too small and that a half a liter might be a little bit better. So a half a liter and 5 drops, 3 drops, and 1 drop. Shake it up well and then serve. And you can see here, this is usually served warm. Mulled cider is served warm. But if you live in a hot climate, you could serve it at room temperature or cooled, and it would still taste really delicious. So this is my other favorite, and I return to this again and again. And this is actually a recipe that I've been making more or less in this form, I want to say, for at least 10 years, and it always holds up really well. The other thing that I used to do was I used to add lemon instead of orange, but the orange to me has a richer, deeper, mellower taste, and I now use only wild orange. Okay, I have got 2 more for you. Okay, so all of my friends in Asia, our flu bomb. Now, I have to tell you, when I looked up cold and flu bomb doTERRA, I got tons, literally almost 1,000 different recipes. And I picked this one because it was really easy. It was 5 essential oils and equal drops of each one. Some of them had as many as 20 drops or 10 drops, or they had all different sorts of balance. For those of you who've never heard of a cold and flu bomb, this is a wonderful blend and you're feeling really under the weather. Some people will take this in capsules, other people will put it in a roller bottle, but the idea is to blend frankincense, melaleuca, on guard, lemon, and oregano in a roller bottle. Here it says equal drops, so 8 drops of each. And then top off a 10 milliliter roller bottle with fractionated coconut oil. And this seems like a kind of a good balance to me. So 5 times 8 is 40. You'd be putting 40 drops of essential oil and then topping off the rest with fractionated coconut oil. And that seems like a good balance. Now, some of you may be shaking your heads and saying, my recipe is better. If it is, I want you to share it with us on one of the 2 sites. So remember, Today, it's all about going to our Facebook page and taking a look and posting your own recipe. Here's the other thing I want to remind you of. Last week, we did a great challenge. We've been posting every day on Oil Camp Alumni and Team Power Diamond about immune boosters. So every day I've been getting on and posting a new video about immune boosters. Some of them are, I think, pretty, they're informative, and some of them are a little bit silly, but in either way, you're getting great information on how to stay healthy. And we want to stay healthy between now and the end of the year, because all of us have a lot of things going on. Holidays are coming up, kids are back at school, there's a lot of things going on. We want to stay healthy, so keep in mind your flu bomb and get onto those two Facebook pages and take look at our immune challenge videos, or our immune boosting videos, excuse me. Okay, last but not least, does everybody remember the Harmony kit from Mother's Day? I have to say, it was one of my favorite kits that I've seen for a long time. I know some of you were able to get a hold of one of these kits. It had 3 essential oils in it, one of which was pink pepper. And I have to say, something about pink pepper, that spicy aroma, to me was just amazing. It was, I don't know, intoxicating, if you will. So the 3, some of the oils that were in there, here's the pink pepper. This is not the best slide, but the pink pepper blended with lime and blended with frankincense, just a really powerful, interesting combination. And I love that kind of spicy aroma and even taste of the pink pepper. If you did not get this kit, but you have black pepper in your repertoire, you can easily substitute black pepper. So don't despair if you didn't happen to get this kit. But I will encourage you, if you have it, open it up and start using it. Sometimes on the chat group, somebody will get on and they tell me, oh, I got a kit 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I just opened it up and it's not there. And they realize that really just the oils have evaporated. Well, I will tell you that citrus oils especially can evaporate in the bottles. And it does happen, folks. You want to make sure, obviously, that you're storing your essential oils in a place that's not too hot or not too cold, and that you're taking good care of them in general. But once they're opened, and sometimes even when they are not open yet, essential oils are prone to evaporation. You want to make sure if you buy something, use it, enjoy it. Don't just let it sit on your shelves. Okay, my favorite blend, and I've been using this a lot, and as I said before, if you have pink pepper, terrific. If you don't have pink pepper, use black pepper. Frankincense, pink pepper, and lime. And those two little icons on the right-hand side, the one that has a little arrow on it, under it, that looks almost like a microphone, that's not a microphone, that's actually a pipette. So if you were using a pipette, you were using 4 squirts of frankincense, 2 squirts of pink pepper, and 2 squirts of lime. That's to get a proper balance. If you're using a dropper, a standard regulating dropper, you would use 12 drops, 6 and 6. And as you can see on the left, this can be used as a perfume, and it can be used externally. Now, I don't see any reason why you couldn't use it internally if you wanted to, but something about the aroma is really intoxicating. So this is my personal blend, and I've been using quite a bit. At the end, I'll actually show you my sort of mushed up bottle that I have here that I keep with me on my desk. I feel like frankincense is good for mental clarity. Pink pepper is terrific for focus and also for addiction. So when we talk about black pepper, we want to talk about not being distracted by things that are unnecessary. And then finally, lime, great for, again, that focus and concentration and also brightness of character. So this for me is a really wonderful blend. It is a little bit spicy, which is why I like it. And I also think that it's good for men and women, which is why I included it here. So those are my 6 recipes for today. I know we didn't have a super long presentation, and I think actually that's okay. I'm going to encourage you all to get onto our 2 Facebook groups. So again, Team Power Diamond and Oil Camp Alumni. Post your recipes this week and we'll be posting winners. And so now I'm going to show you what the gift is going to be. We're going to have 2 lucky winners that are going to get this gift. Hold on one second. Two lucky winners are going to get this amazing welcome kit. And in the welcome kit are additional recipes. Let me see if I can hold this up correctly. Are additional recipe booklets and all kinds of yummy things. Miniature roller bottles and droppers and sprayers and a cool spray bottle and all kinds of things and rollers and everything you could possibly imagine, so you can make your own blends whenever you want to. And I thought this kit was really cool, and I picked up a couple of them. I want to give them away, but I want to give them out to people that are actually making their own blends. So if this is a cool kit and you think that this is something that you would like to win, I'm going to encourage you to post your blends online. You can see here there's something for fruit and vegetable spray and a berry spray and some interesting things that I think that you will like. So post your recipes this week. We'll be picking our winners by the end of the week. And thank you so much for being on. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you real soon. And we'll be posting our next few weeks for September. Don't forget, no class next week. Spread the word, and I'll see you real soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye now.